Okay. I know, honey. Good morning. Morning, Roxy. Morning, Amanda. Morning, Cindy. Hey, Cindy, we don't usually see you in book club anymore. How are you? Okay, honey. Okay. Hey, Jillian. Yeah. Okay. Huh. Oh. Weird. Hey, can we not kick out our seat this morning? What do you think? Yeah, but I need you to keep your seat. Yeah. I do. Okay. I know. And then what? I'm not going to sleep. And you're like physically at work? And oh yeah, no, that's different. Okay. Yeah. Not physically over. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's why I was confused. But no sleep. No sleep is no good. Morning, Samantha. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning, my sweetheart. Good morning to you. Knocked a gutter out of your house. Gee, that sounds bad. Yeah. Not good. Not. And then what? Should we put an extra shot of coffee in Daddy's coffee because he didn't sleep very much? Okay, we will. We'll give Daddy an extra shot. Yeah. How are you guys enjoying the mug tribunal? It's intense. The tribunal of mugs. It gives me anxiety. Mugs are sacred. I know. It's not even over yet. The decisions haven't even been made. Well, I won't tell you what happened, but it's not over even in real life. So there's more to come. Yeah. The chopping block is still sitting over there. I can't show you who's on the chopping block, but I mean, which one of the bugs are good. There's so much more coming, Cindy. You don't even know. It's not even done yet. Mark probably would tell me to do one. Don't show him then. Don't show him. I'm using specific mugs today that have already been shown in the tribunal, so you already knew these ones were safe. So that's why you can see these because you know from the videos that are posted that these were safe. So I felt comfortable using them. But I'm not showing any mugs that haven't been posted yet because I don't want to give any spoilers. Because if I showed one and you didn't know the outcome of it, that would be, sad. I'm taking this very seriously, guys. Very seriously. But this one was in the first round, and we know that it survived because we both voted yes on strawberry. I mean, it's prime social media, but it's not takeaway. I also take them seriously, Liz. You know that. You know I take them seriously. We had a mug tribunal, Roxy. It's on my page. To eliminate. We just don't have space. That's the truth. They just won't fit. Like, I'm not trying to be cruel. Like, I would keep them if we had bigger cupboards, but we just don't. We just don't have bigger cupboards. There's nothing we can. What's that? That's good. We just don't have bigger cupboards. There's nothing I can do about that. So we had to make a decision because, you know, it just. Well, you don't even know which ones are getting cut yet, Roxy, so you don't know if you're even gonna want them. You know, you gotta wait and see if you even like the ones that are getting cut. It got down to some sad times. Hey, the mama mug even be in the tribunal makes it. Well, no, so here's the thing. We put them all, I know it was still filled with coffee. That's how you know I use it, right? That's funny. All of them got put in the tribunal, even if we didn't think that they were going to get cut. Like, there's no world where we were going to cut the mama mug, but it had to go up against somebody to, like, show us who we really wanted, you know? Okay. You have a lot to say this morning? Okay. And then what? And then what? Okay. Really? I see. Yes, we have a lot to say today, huh? You have a lot to say? Yes. What else? Continue. We're listening. Okay. Yeah. What else do you want to tell them? Do you want to tell them that we showed your uncle and your cousin how to... It really did, Cindy. It wasn't even fair, yeah. We showed your uncle and your cousin how to use their ring sling yesterday, so now Uncle Ben can use a ring sling too. Yeah. That's right, we showed Uncle Ben how to use a ring sling yesterday. Yeah. And now your cousin gets to be in a ring sling. She has big thoughts on them. I don't know, Jen, if you saw, I don't know if the recent video has finished uploading yet, but she was the decider for any ties. Oh, thank you, Emily. I really appreciate you getting my book. Oh, I hope you love it. Can I tell you guys something really crazy about my book? Wait, this is literally true. Okay. Well, I had a dream last night. This is not a joke, okay? I had a dream last night that someone named Lauren was... Are you gonna let me tell the story or what? She doesn't like my dream. I'm trying to tell you guys my dream, but she will not let me. It's about the book. Okay, so last night I had a dream that there was a person named Lauren. Do you just not like the name? Do you want me to not say that? Hey, beautiful. Hey. What's in it? Are you need a shoe? Okay, hold on. Here. You want an ice pop? Yeah. Ice pop for teething? Okay, we got an ice pop. We feel better. So there was a person in our group named Lauren, and Lauren, for some reason, had like some connection with, hey Anya, with like book stuff. I don't really understand or remember like what the whole thing was about it, but for some reason she was a good person to deal with books, right? This Lauren person. And so Lauren said, send me your book and I don't even remember what the situation was. Like, she was just, and this doesn't even make any sense in the real world, but like she was just supposed to post a picture of it somewhere. I don't even understand why or where. She wasn't supposed to talk about the book at all. She was just supposed to post a picture of it, like the cover, right? Maybe it was for, maybe she had an art page or something. I don't know. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Let mommy wash this. So anyway, I send her a copy of the book, and I wake up the next morning, and she has posted a really like bad review in a Facebook group. Hey, hey, hey! You don't want this? It's so yummy, honey. It's so good. Okay, here. Hey, hey, sweetheart. Look at mommy. Look at mommy. It's right here. You have to get it in your mouth for it to work. It doesn't work unless you put it in your mouth, honey. Here, hey, hey. Okay, okay. You don't want it anymore? You don't want it? You want this? Hey, look at mommy. Look at mommy. Look at mommy. Sweetheart, look at mommy. You don't want your chewy and you don't want your ice pop? No. Hey, hey, hey. Hey. Hey, look at me. Here. So anyway, she posted a scathing review of my book. Not scathing, that's not true. She just basically said it was boring and it was just like a basic rom-com that wasn't well written. And I was so upset and so sad. And I was like, but you didn't even say you were gonna read it. Well, I didn't think you were gonna read it and then post something mean about it. And I was really upset when I woke up. I know, my angel, I know. Yeah, we're having ouchies. We're having ouchies. Okay, but we're falling asleep despite our ouchies. So that's good. Yeah, sleepy girl, sleepy girl. Okay, okay. I think we might be falling asleep. A fake person in my dream, Liz, not even a real person. Just like it was a dream, yeah. Yeah, sleep will help the ouchies for sure. In my dream, someone named Lauren didn't like my book. The thing about the name Lauren is it's pretty common, so it could be anybody. Could be anybody. Yeah, mean teethies. I know, right, Ray? Everyone's like, wait, we're gonna kill whoever it is, but you don't have to because I know I know, the cries are distracting, I know, I'm sorry. But she's asleep now. She just needed sleep. She just needed sleep. Poor little thing. It's hard to teeth, you guys. I don't remember it, but I imagine it's impossibly difficult to deal with and hurts real bad. I imagine it hurts real bad. Poor little thing. She's out now. She's out now. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Are we sleeping now? Okay. Well, now that she's asleep, we can read. The way she went from ouch to out was impressive. You know what? It usually, right, and I know you know this experience, about 5 minutes in the wrap, and she's out usually. I know that there have been times when that's not true. Actually, my wisdom teeth never came in. They had to take them out before they came in because of how small my mouth is. So I never actually felt that. But usually, give or take about 5 minutes in the wrap and she'll fall asleep. Yeah. Oh, of course, she's everybody's princess. Remember, I need to buy a book from you to send to a creator. You don't have to do that. If you have a creator that is accepting books, I will just send it. You don't have to pay for it. Just tell them, or like, let's be in contact, and I can send it directly so that you don't have to pay for it. If it's going towards some advertising, I'll use my advertising budget. If you did, I didn't get the message because I don't have any unread emails from you. Yeah, I had mine removed before they came into. Yeah, Magical Sleepy Desk, that's right. Yeah, they basically said when I was a teenager that my mouth was too small for any more teeth, and I had already had braces, and my teeth are straight because of the braces, and they said if I didn't take them out before that, then I would have to have braces all over again. And guess what I didn't want to do? That. So we took them out before they moved everybody around again. That's the whole kit and caboodle on the teeth. All right, so we are on chapter 11 today. Hopefully we'll get 11 and 12. That's the goal. Mine came out while I still had braces. Really? How did that go? I guess that's good, I assume. I actually have no idea. I have no idea. Chapter 11. They were pushing back. Oh, no, there you go. He's a sweet coffee shop guy. Does he do things with books, though? Oh, but if it's a guy, he's probably not going to like it. My book's not really guy fodder. I mean, you can ask him. If he wants it, I will do it. Where did you get your Kindle? I think you can only get them on Amazon, right? I think that's only... I don't know anywhere else where you can get them. Hey, Isabella, I hope you're having a great vacation. I don't think Kindles exist anywhere else because it's an Amazon product, but I could be wrong. Or I guess you can get one secondhand. I actually don't know. I'm not a Kindle person. Like, I don't know. I own one, but I don't know anything about it beyond that. All right, chapter 11. Drown it? I guess Wyatt was right about the arena being wet. How? The arena has the capacity to drown itself. Creating the tribute's ecosystem requires electricity, plumbing, heating, cooling, ventilation, everything that your house would have, says Beatty. My house doesn't have half of those things. Does yours? I ask. Well, I live in the Victor's Village now, so yes, it does. We do have a Victor Village in District 12, too. A dozen fancy houses that you get to live in for the rest of your life if you win the games. Burdock and I used to steal over there and peek in the windows on a summer's night. In the moonlight, we could see enough to tell that they had furniture and hanging lights and bathtubs like the ones here in the capital. The village was built after our lone Victor, though, so no one's ever lived in it. Beatty continues. My point is that for at least a few weeks, the arena has to have the capability of sustaining the tributes and supporting the set pieces. I haven't seen the plan for the actual arena, but over a year ago, they had me look over the Sub-A design. In the north part of the arena, there's an enormous water tank that sits just below the surface. Arenas can require a lot of water to sustain lakes, create rainstorms, quench fires. This reservoir seems especially large. Then if the computer is the brain, this would be the bladder? He laughs a bit. Yeah, exactly. And once the bladder is ruptured, it will flood the brain, leaving it inoperable. My brain's starting to get flooded as well. But if I can't reach the brain, how am I gonna reach the bladder? Through the arena, there are hatches that connect the surface to the utility corridors below. You'll enter through one yourself. The hatches are used by the game makers to introduce elements into the arena, and you'll use the access to the utility corridors by way of a MUT portal. A MUT portal, I repeat. Yes, the plans show dozens of these. It must be a MUT-heavy program. I try not to think about the weasels. Okay, so I find a MUT portal, I climb down the utility corridor, locate the tank, and blow a hole in it, releasing the water. Gravity should take care of the rest. It will naturally flood the Sub-A. I feel overwhelmed by this. Okay, wait, hold on. This is a lot. How am I supposed to blow a hole in the tank? Are you sending me in there with explosives? It won't be just you. You'll have Amber. And at the mention of his son's name, his voice catches a little with a spasm of pain crossing his face. This plan sounds pretty dangerous, I venture. Maybe I can do it without him. And for the first time, his agony breaks through his restraint. They reaped him to kill him, Hamish. To punish me? I can think of no realistic scenario where he does not die. I can only hope that his death is quick and not in vain. I know he's right. Even with this wild plot to break the arena, Amper's marked for death, like me. If the careers don't take him out, the game makers will. I'm so sorry. I'll try to look out for him in there. Don't let him suffer, whispers Beatty. I'll do my best, I promise. That's a great comfort to me, thank you. He wipes his glasses and he sets them firmly back in place. So do you know how to use explosives? Oddly enough, I do, a bit. We have classes in coal production, dull as dust usually, but we're the future miners of Panem. They do show us how coal gets mined, which can involve placing explosives in a hole
in the rock, inserting a blasting cap with the length of fuse attached, and then lighting it. We practice this with fake stuff. Inert, they call it. The real stuff can kill you. I know the basics, I say, for the coal miners, but where I'm going, how am I going to get the fuse? And we're working on that now, how to smuggle the materials past security. But unlike the compartments used in your mines, which I'm sure, unlike the components used in your mines, which I'm sure you know can be deadly, I have specifically designed these to be safe, both chemically and structurally. They cannot be set off unintentionally by you or really anything else. To set them off, you'll need to fully assemble the bomb correctly and light the fuse with fire. That makes me a little calmer. I don't need a blasting cap exploding on me before it's time to blow a hole in the tank. My fingers find my flint striker. Lenore Dove's voice floats in from the meadow. Only you don't have to have a flint. Any decent sparking rock like quartz will do. Will there be rocks in there, do you think? Like flint or quartz? I ask. Possibly. I can try to find out. Why? Well, if there are, then I can handle that last one. I lift my chin and I display my gift. It's a flint striker. Beatty looks impressed. Very clever. Never underestimate 12, as I always say. You do? It would be nice if someone said something approving about us for a change. I do. You don't think like the rest of us. You've done a better job holding on to yourselves, despite the capital. Yeah, they think we're animals, so that helps. Wyrus appears, startling us. Hey, you better finish. The repair crew just pulled up out front, and it can be any time now. More to come. Don't tell anyone what we've discussed. And then Beatty vanishes into the dark. Best get to bed, Wyrus instructs me. I return to my watch in the bedroom, and after a few minutes, the power surges back with a gush of chilled air and a constellation of lights. A jumble of Beatty's instructions fills my brain. What did I just agree to? Mutt portal, bladder, explosives? How on earth am I going to pull all of that off? Doubt consumes me. Probably I should just be the fire maker and Amber should set the explosives. But does he have the physical strength to manage the mutt portal and the climb? And what if I do pull all of this off? What if we do break the arena? How Lenore Dove would love it if she knew that I bested the capital and stopped the games. At least for this year anyway. There's glory in that. Dignity. And if I did that using her flint striker, it would be like we did it together. Painted a poster that no one could ignore, outsmart the capital, and force their citizens to see us as something other than mindless animals. Hey, Hamish, Maisie stirs. I'll take over now. Okay, thanks. She doesn't sound drowsy. Either she woke up with a start or she's never been asleep. Is everything all right? She asks. And I wonder if she saw me leave and tried to overhear my conversation with Beatty, but I can't talk about it. The fewer people who know about the plot, the better. And while I like her more in the capital than I did in 12, we're not exactly confidants. Well, there was a power outage, but they seem to have fixed it now, I tell her. Night. Curling up in my blankets, I pretend to drift off until I actually do. And in the morning, I find myself tempted to share Beatty's plan with the others. Doesn't feel honest not to. Lulu's enough of a distraction to keep me from blurting it out. We decide the simplest way to manage her appearance is to pretend that while the capital miraculously managed to pack Lulu up, she's no longer right in the head. Patch Luella up. She's no longer right in the head. We're counting on none of the other tributes having spent enough time with her to distinguish the difference between the real Luella and her body double. Lulu's gone from averting her eyes to watching us constantly, as if she's trying to piece together a puzzle. She tugs on her ear a lot, which makes me wonder if it hurts, because that's what Sid used to do when he had an earache. When she goes to the bathroom, Wyrus says, I think she has an audio implant, probably a two-way transmitter. Why? Asks Wyatt. So they can tell her what to say, direct her behavior, and hear what she hears, says Mags. She doesn't have to explain the ramifications of that. Don't tell Lulu any secrets. There's a flip side to that, though. We can gain an advantage by telling her lies. During the dark days, the capital spied on us with jabberjays, mutts that looked like regular birds but could record the rebels' conversations and play them back word for word. We figured this out, and we fed them false information. The capital released the jabberjays at the end of the war, thinking that they would die off, which they did not. But before which they did, but before that, they sired a whole new species of mating with the female mockingbirds, creating Lenore Dove's precious mocking jays. And now I guess, well, Lulu is our own Jabberjay. We join the other newcomers in the gym, and Lulu draws some questioning looks, but they seem to buy that she's our girl, only brain damaged. None of them knew Luella or had more than a passing look at her after all. You have to be really careful what you say around her, Maisley warns them. She's not herself, and she might repeat it to anyone. And when we break up to practice, Wyatt agrees to take her, which is helpful. I don't need a Jabberjay at the moment. Amber catches my eye, and we shake off the rest of the group. I don't know how much Beatty has told him about the arena plot, but before I can broach that, he says, "My father says that we need 9 to join our alliance." And we spot the yellow-clad tributes nearby the shelter building booth. Any specific reason why? I mean, 5 and 11 are still uncommitted, and they look a lot stronger than... He just said that they were essential. I tried the first day, but they rushed me off. I wonder if they think, like, I'm stuck up? You? Why would they think you're stuck up? Because I'm from 3. Because I know tech stuff, maybe. 9's in the field a lot. I don't think they got much schooling out there, and everybody knows that we do. People call us eggheads. Well, egghead's not so bad. Well, it's not a compliment anyway. I couldn't get anywhere with them. They're not big talkers. Like my pa, I think. He was plenty smart. He just didn't feel like he needed to share what trapezed through his brain, nor did he much trust people. A lot of the miners are like that. Yeah, I'll give it a shot, I tell Amber. Why don't you have another go at 11 in the meantime? Halfway to the boot, Maisley intercepts me. Hey, what's going on? This could mean one of several things, especially if she was eavesdropping last night. I decide to play it straightforward. I'm just going in for 9. Do they need help with their tokens? She asks, and we turn to assess their token situation. They're wearing necklaces of braided grass with a fist-size sunflower hanging from it, and Maisley answers her own question. Oh my word, yes, those are hideous, but you have to give them credit for trying, the poor things. I guess salt dough clay is all they could get their hands on. I know the stuff. Once over at Burdock's house, his mom mixed up some white flour, salt, and water into dough and made us kids make little animals and stars and things. It was too wasteful for my family, but the Everdeens could afford it on account of being hunters and having a little bit more disposable income. Nothing like the Donners, though. Yeah, I say. I guess they ran out of gold. Maisley starts for 9, but I step in front of her. Stop. We need them, Maisley, and I can't risk you insulting them when they think you're just being helpful. Anyway, their tokens aren't so bad. They're just kind of... I struggle to get the word to describe lumpy and overly bright yellow flowers. They're gaudy, clunky, and shoddy. Yeah, okay, see, that's why I'm going over there alone. And she shrugs and she walks away, but not too far. Just a nearby food preparation booth. Skinning squirrels, making bread on your campfire coals, roasting stuff on a stick, like we're all going to a cookout or something. And I get to the shelter booth in time to participate in a session with the 4 District 9 tributes. I can't help but think about what Mag said and that we'll likely be on the move. Maybe I can throw something together in a quick rainstorm. While this booth isn't dedicated solely to tarps, they certainly are featured. You can make a shelter by tying one between the trees, or tying a rope between the trees and draping the tarp over it, anchoring your tent with rocks, or finding a fallen tree and leaning branches against it, covering it with a tarp, or building an A-frame from branches and throwing a tarp over it. 2 tarps? Use one on the floor. If there are no tarps in the arena, they're going to have some mighty disappointed tributes, though. Our other tips include using your weapons, preferably an axe or a knife, to cut brush and branches and find a flat surface to build on so that if it rains, the runoff doesn't soak you. We're supposed to work alone, so we each get a tarp and have at it. A half a dozen upright posts and thick columns lie on the floor, standing in for trees. I build a tent by fastening rope between the trunks and arranging the tarp over it, while quietly observing District 9. Their faces are still healing from the last sunburn back home. Their callous and capable hands, their lean, muscled arms, their quiet efficacy. Even without Beatty's directive, I can see that they would make good allies. And just as I'm joining a couple of them on the rock pile, who saunters up? But Panesh. He's full of himself, grabbing a tarp and some sticks, like he's even been at the lesson, and taking over the middle of the fake forest. The instructor frowns because she automatically hates him too, and I can feel District 9 shifting, so he's not directly in any of their line of sight. I ignore him, carry my rocks back to my site, and start pinning the tarp edges around the ground. Panache singles out the biggest guy from 9, since of course he thinks he'll be their leader, and corners him against a fallen log. Hey, we've been thinking about letting you guys join the career pack. The guy's face shows no emotion. No. Not no thanks, not no for now, but we'll talk it over. Just a flat and definitive no. And then he goes back to lying branches against the log. This doesn't land well with Panache, who clearly thinks he's offered him the moon. No. He takes the threatening step towards the guy and then notices a peacekeeper, hand on his taser, and stops. What are you looking at? He says to the smallest girl from 9, who's not looking at him, just making a bed from pine needles, and she refuses to meet his eye, which makes him nuts. And he snaps, Fine, we'll kill you all first then. Stepping forward, he yanks her sunflower from its grass braid and hurls it to the floor. The token shatters into a dozen bits. Panache plows into the crowd before the peacekeeper can respond. A small, pained cry escapes the girl's lip as she crouches over the bits. The sunflower mattered, I think, even more than being her last handful of home. I bet someone close to her made that. Was it her ma? Her pa? Her sister or brother? Someone she loves. They made it to protect her and to remind her how precious she is and to give her something to hold on to at the end. If the unthinkable happened and her name got called in the reaping, and now it's just chunks of salt flour dough dabbed with yellow paint, and the other tributes from 9 gather around her, viewing the wreckage as silent tears roll down her cheeks. I don't know what to do. I wish I could comfort the girl, but I don't even know her name, and I could hardly make my move now, even if BD says 9 is essential. I rack my brain when suddenly there's Maisie, kneeling across from the girl, mixing up some white gooey stuff on a leaf with a twig. She doesn't even ask permission. She just carefully arranges the broken pieces into their original form, and then begins to smear goo onto the edges and glue the sunflower back together. And all of 9 just stands there speechless, letting her. I notice a little piece of yellow by my boot and I retrieve it, and then I cross to add it to the sunflower puzzle. Squatting down next to Maisie, I ask, hey, what is this stuff? It's glue. I made it with flour and water and salt from the booth. Well, it's the best I could do anyway. And she addresses the girl. After it's mended, you'll have to be very careful with it, since I couldn't heat this up. Maybe your mentor can find you some proper glue in the quarters, but for now, this should hold. The girl wipes her tears and nods. Given the lack of communication, I take that as an opening. Hey, is that a sunflower? She nods again. I love those things. My ma tried to grow them in the garden. Every year she does. I guess yours are finer, though, with all that sun that you guys have in 9. There's a long pause, long enough to make me think that I've failed, and then she offers a quiet, we have big fields of them. Yeah? I bet that's a pretty sight. I spend a minute as if contemplating that. My girl back home, she sings a song about sunflowers, an old-timey song. Since the 4 tributes now look somewhat interested, I give it a go, even though it's a little weird. Ah, a sunflower, weary of time, who counteth the steps of the sun, seeking after that golden clime where the traveler's journey is done. Okay, maybe that was too weird. Maisie has her lips pressed tight together, like she's trying not to laugh. Nothing from the rest of the group. Ampert's right. The Niners are not a chatty crew. I forge on. Well, it sounds better when my girl sings it. And the little girl laughs a little bit, but not meanly. I'm Hamish, by the way, and this is Maisie. Kurna, you're with Ampert, right? Oh, yeah, I say, as if it's been the farthest thing from my mind. Yeah, I mean, a bunch of us are teaming up and we're calling ourselves the newcomers. I don't reissue the invitation to join. I want to let them come to us. Yeah, he asked us too, Kurna says. We said we didn't want to. I said the same thing at first, and then I thought, many hands make light work. Okay, thanks for that aphorism, Mama. I'm worried that it sounds idiotic given the circumstances, but maybe they'll think it over. There, says Maisie, fitting the last piece into place. It looks good as new. She re-knots the grass braid and carefully places it around Kurna's neck. Remember, see if they can get you some real glue at the apartment to reinforce it. Thank you, Maisie, says Kurna, and the instructor tells us that we have to make room for a new group. We're running out of conversation anyway. I know if they reconsider, they'll have to discuss it before they accept. Maisie and I join District 11 at the knot tying booth, where I struggle with my square knot while she replicates everything that they show her on the first try, even the snares. Now you're just showing off, I say, and she rolls her eyes. Yeah, I'm so sure the careers are quaking in their boots over my clove hitch. Anyway, let's go throw some axes. And at lunchtime, without another word, 4 baby chicks from District 9 sit among us. Ampert has brought 11 in as well, and now we're 8 districts strong. At the far end of the bleachers, the orange-clad District 5 has teamed up with the Careers. The lines are drawn. They've got more trained fighters, but we outnumber them 2-1. Wyatt can barely contain himself as he calculates the odds. The game makers buzz with this new developing gesture among us, deep in conference, factoring in the dual alliances to the games. When we finished our sandwiches, District 12 reunites at the edible foods section, which seems heavy on the poisonous mushrooms. Lulu keeps sticking them in her mouth, confounding her trainer. I don't know what she's going to do in the private sessions with the game makers, Wyatt says, but I guess they won't be expecting much. Not sure what I'm going to do either. You're an expert on the games. With your odds making and all, you could talk about... sorry, wrong voice. You're an expert on the games, like what with your odds making and all? You could talk about that, Maisie suggests. It's more impressive than anything I've got anyway. You should show them the things that you can do with a piece of cord, I tell her. You're underrating it because it's easy for you, but honestly it is pretty impressive. That is a thought. At least it would make me unique. Anyway, what are you going to do, Hamish? Are you going to throw knives? I guess I could, or maybe axes. Everyone is sent back to their respective locker rooms while the game makers begin the private sessions. This will be our last chance to influence how they score us for the general public. Heavy peacekeepers present monitors the tension between the Careers and the newcomers, but I have to say, I feel a lot more secure with my alliance than I did in the shower. Luckily, I'm slated to go last because I have no idea how to handle the game makers, and surely they have footage of what went down at the reaping, me attacking the peacekeeper and being punished with a trip to the games, and they witnessed my subversive act at the opening ceremonies live. No telling if they know about President Snow's ultimatum in the Plutarch's library. Sorry, in Plutarch's library, it would have been the Heaven Space. I've avoided thinking about that encounter and how he treated me with slow and agonizing death. Threatened me with a slow and agonizing death for my loved ones to witness at the game opening. I'm not planning to do anything else to call him out before the games begin. Now that I'm part of the plot to break the machine, I can only hope that it will keep me alive long enough to carry out my part of the plan. So, what can I show the game makers that will reassure them that I am now harmless to the Capitol? A dramatic shift to being a compliant tribute will be a hard sell. Another wrinkle is Lulu. They must know that I know she's fake, especially since Luella mattered enough for me to carry her lifeless body to the president. Maybe she's the key. Maybe I can say that Luella was the one thing I cared about protecting in the games, and now I'm all about myself. That I'm using the Alliance for one purpose and one purpose only, and that's to determine who's going to win these games, and then get back to the girl that I risked everything for and the family that I had a touching goodbye with. I mean, I'll convince them that I want to be the first tribute from 12 to live in the Victor's Village, that I'm just a punk kid who tried to escape the peacekeepers, confronted Snow, and spat on the audience for good measure. A guy who's only out for himself. This is the one way I might be able to sell myself to the game makers without rousing suspicion about my greater ambitions. To paint myself as a selfish troublemaker who's determined to get home and live out his life as a rich and famous victor. Yeah. The gym's deserted when I walk out, my footsteps echoing off the walls except for the neat rows of game makers in their bleachers. The head game maker, Faustina Gripper, a short and ample woman whose close-cropped metallic silver and gold curls are distinguished by the purple fur collar on her snowy robe. She appraises me and then she commands, "Tell us about yourself." And I cock my head and look her dead in the eye and say, "I'm Hamish Abernathy from District 12. I shouldn't be here. I was raped illegally, but no one cares. My neighbor, Luella McCoy, was the only person that I gave a hang about, but you killed her and brought in a body double, so that kind of frees me up to win these games." "And what makes you think that you can do that? We haven't noticed you possess any outstanding skills," the head game maker says. "Really?" I smirk, because where I'm standing, it looks like I came up with 31 people who promised to defend me, but maybe that strategy's a little too subtle for you all. Her mouth tightens. "Oh, and you're willing to let them die?" "Why not, lady? You are." And then they dismiss me, and I'm hoping I pulled off an unlikable but focused on winning the games. If I can score in the mid-range, maybe I can still get a handful of sponsors. On the way out the door, the peacekeepers collect my token for inspection, and I run my fingers over the inscription, and I press my lips against the bird before placing it in the basket marked with my name. It kills me to have to let this go, knowing that they might tag it as unfair and dispose of it. Besides, the heartbreak, losing it means that I'll have to find another way to make fire to carry out Beatty's plot. But on the other hand, this is the Capitol. They might just see it as a pretty necklace. Either way, my neck feels naked without it. None of us talk much on the van ride home, and after dinner of roast chicken and mashed potatoes, we gather around the television in our living room for a special announcement of our individual scores. On a scale of 1 to 12, the careers mostly land in the 8 to 11 range, with the exception of District 11, who brings in similar numbers. The newcomers generally manage between 4s and 7s. Were announced last, though. Maisie and Wyatt, they each get a 6. Lulu pulls a 3. And me, I get a 1. A 1. That's bad. Bad, not good, you guys. Bad, not good. A 1. I mean, it does make for a good reading, but it is pretty sad. Yeah. I have a lot of thoughts about it, but let's read chapter 12 anyway, right? Chapter 12. I don't remember anyone getting a 1 before, ever. In fact, I'm hard-pressed to remember even a 2. Even the 3s are rare, and they're reserved for extreme long shots like Lulu. How will the audience interpret this? That I'm weak? That I'm friendless? A coward? Any way you slice it, this will not result in me getting sponsors, and I'm going to be entirely on my own in the arena when it comes to supplies. You must have really gotten to them, Maisie says with satisfaction. Between the reaping and Luella spitting on the crowd, you really got their attention. Well, that's a sunny interpretation, I reply. Perhaps she's right, says Mags. If nothing else, it is distinctive. People will be gossiping about it. With 48 tributes, just becoming recognizable is a plus. And Wyatt shakes his head. I don't even know how to factor that into your odds. What do you do anyway? What did you do anyway? Good question. I guess in not so many words, but I accuse them of murdering us. Yes, says Lulu, and her eyes are boring through me, and then she winces and swipes at her ear. We can hear a faint but piercing tone that must be deafening in her head. When it eases, tears stream from her eyes, and she's gasping. Wyatt presses his finger against his lips and then hugs her tightly. I take the first watch again at bedtime, my mind swimming with strategy. The game makers, no doubt under Snow's direction, have made an example of me, and that displeasure could follow me into the arena. I may have doomed myself to a gory opening death. My hand seeks my flint striker for comfort, but it only finds bare skin. They couldn't even leave me that one last token of Lenore Dove's love. How does one celebrate parents' anniversary when the other spouse across the globe? Oh, that does sound hard. You're gonna have to do a FaceTime or something. What did she think when they announced my score tonight? She didn't get to witness all my reckless behavior here, so she probably blames herself for me getting called out on the reaping. But how will she ever know that was only a teaspoon of trouble in my river of wrong? Wow. Ooh. Ooh, Suzanne. What a line. How will she ever know that was only a teaspoon of trouble in my river of wrong? Wild. I feel like I'm a big risk now to the plot to disable the arena, but I'm sure Beatty's figured that out. I stay awake through 3 watches, thinking that he might pay me another visit, and eventually my eyelids get so heavy that I wake Wyatt up to take over. Our mentors let us sleep in late. I feel better when I find my precious necklace awaiting me on the kitchen table. All 4 of our tokens have been cleared, and we all reach for them with eager hands. Can I see yours now, since it's already off? Maisie asks me. What can I say? No, because my girlfriend hates you? We're supposed to act like allies now, and I figure Lenore Dove will never know, so I pass over my token. Maisie studies it meticulously, going over every bit of engraving, reading the inscription, which does not escape her notice, as it did mine. Well, the Covey does have an eye for beauty, that's for sure. Heard you have one of Tam Amber's pins, I say. She wrinkles her nose. Oh, that thing? Yeah, it's well made, but I don't really care much for mockingjays. There's something unnatural about a bird that's half mutt. I never thought of it that way, so I say, yeah, some people think that's a victory in itself, the way that they escaped the Capitol and survived. Do they? Says Maisie. Well, if I escape the Capitol and survive, maybe I'll give that pin a second chance. Well, if you don't, I'm sure Lenore Dove would be happy to take it off your hands, I say. Lenore Dove? Maisie, give me. Go back to sleep, honey. Shh, 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 shh. Knowing where that pin ends up and what it does is gut-wrenching. Lenore Dove, Maisie gives me a knowing smile. She doesn't like me, your girlfriend, and it's not because of any pin. It's because you're so mean, you think? I ask innocently, and Maisie laughs. Partly, maybe, but mostly because I know her secret and she hates being at my mercy. Her secret, I think. Hey, what does that mean? I ask. It means, how come she's got orange paint on her fingernails when she shows up to play the mayor's birthday party? And then she hands me back the token. You have to ask her that when you get home. Sorry, if you get home. Not when, she said if. I look down at the necklace in confusion. There's orange on some of the feathers. She was probably just helping Tam Amber, or maybe she tried to paint them to match her lipstick. I guess Maisie made some crack about Lenore Dove having ugly nails, but why is that a secret that would put her at Maisie's mercy? Nail polish is pricey, and Maisie, is she suggesting that Lenore Dove stole the nail polish? Tell me right now, I say. I told you, it's a secret. Those should be respected. Maisie carefully arranges her necklaces. Apparently, the game makers viewed her collection as a single token, and she hooks the purple and yellow flowers around Lulu's neck. Unless, of course, you have a secret to trade, and then we would have something to talk about. Some girl thing? Wyatt comments as he puts on his token. They never make sense. You said a mouthful, I agree, and the script coin Maisie wove into Wyatt's cord distracts me. She designed it so that it's easy to pop the coin in and out of the weave, because flipping it through his fingers helps Wyatt think. Wyatt's a fidgeter, you guys. He's like us. Wyatt's got ADD. Hey, what's that coin made of? I ask. Is it nickel? Zinc, I think, says Wyatt. Potato battery, I remind him. Keep an eye out for copper. And Maisie fishes the flower medallion from the display at her necklace. Already on it. Of course you are, Miss Donner, I say. If the game maker cleared those, maybe they're going to hope you use them. Just then, Drusilla shows up and calls us into the living room so that she can help with our interview prep. After the reaping and chariot fiascos, she's feeling some heat. Our training numbers aren't doing her any favors either. This is her last big event for the Quell, and she needs it to go well. Listen, you lot. There are always soft-hearted dolts who will send supplies to losers like you, if they can find some way to relate to you. The only one who's got any name recognition right now is Hamish, because people are trying to figure out why his score is so abysmal. He's also got some attention for his appalling behavior toward the audience at the parade, but the rest of you are basically non-existent. This interview will be your last chance to make some sort of impression before the games begin. Anything that makes you stand out is a plus. Make me remember you. So, who are you? Why should I want to lay my money on you? What are you selling? With an audience of Drusilla, Mags, and Wyrus, we clear a space and try to simulate an upcoming interview. Drusilla plays Caesar Flickerman, the smooth-talking host of the event, and she loses patience with Lulu almost immediately, given that the child can't do much more than repeat, my name is Luella McCoy, and I'm from District 12. This is absolutely dreadful, says Drusilla. Flickerman will eat you alive. What's wrong with you anyway? Snap out of it. Oh, honey, I'm sorry. Don't wake up. Shh, shh, shh. Shh, shh, shh. She gives Luella a shake by the shoulders. The contact triggers something in Lulu, who begins to scream, You're murdering us! You're murdering us! Drusilla gasps and raises her hand to slap Lulu, but the rest of us intervene, and Mags takes Lulu into the bedroom. That isn't Luella McCoy, Maisie tells Drusilla. She's dead. That's a body double. Some little girl that the Capitol has tortured, and she can't even remember her own name. But even she can see the obvious. You're murdering us. Drusilla looks around for backup, but the peacekeepers remained downstairs and Wyrus isn't giving any. So it's just her and us district piglets, including Maisie, who slaps back. She composes herself. That's not my department. Your interviews are. And she points to Wyatt. You're up next. After they exchange niceties, she asks Wyatt what makes him special. I'm an odds maker, he says without hesitation. An odds maker? What is that? I set the odds for gambling events back in 12. I give the odds on who's going to win the Hunger Games. You do? Asked Drusilla skeptically. I do. So who do you recommend our audience bet on? And Wyatt takes a deep breath and rattles off his projections. Well, it's tempting to go for the low-hanging fruit. The odds will always look good for most of the careers, like Manesh from District 1, the largest tributes. He trained and he high scores. And I'd give him like an 11-5 odds, which means that he has a 30 to 1% chance of winning. Or Mariette from 4. She's obviously a contender with her physique, and 11 that the game makers gave her, but probably it's an indication that she's exceptional with a trident. I would say like a 6-1 odds or 14.929%. Fancy math, but nothing new there. Everybody knows the careers are a good bet. Obviously, returns Wyatt. But what's made these games a novelty is that all 48 tributes have locked into alliances before the start, so nothing like this has ever happened before. The careers are powerful, yes, but the newcomers outnumber them 2 to 1. If I was betting, sure, I would take a look at the careers, but if the alliances really hold, if the tributes really defend each other to the death, anyone has a shot. And if you're not afraid of some risk, it's better bang for your buck if you're a more obscure newcomer, because the odds are not in their favor, so they're going to pay off higher in the end. Give me a name, says Drusilla. Hamish Abernathy, says Wyatt. He scored a 1. Exactly. With no apparent handicaps. He's physically fit, and his behavior suggests a boldness that disturbs the game makers. Throne, I interject. You don't have to do this, Wyatt. I'm not doing anything, Hamish. This is my honest assessment of your chances. Maisley's not a bad bet either. And what about yourself? Asked Drusilla. Oh, no, I wouldn't bet on me, admits Wyatt. I simply... No, cuts in Wyrus. Don't underestimate yourself, Wyatt. No other tribute can do what you did. Play up how intelligence matter. Reference me. Say Wyrus won the games last year without shedding a drop of blood. Brains matter. Wyatt thinks this over for a moment and then he turns to Drusilla. Okay, look. Here's the thing. At any given moment in the Hunger Games, I will know everybody's odds, how they stack up against each other, and how likely they are to receive gifts. It should keep me from making a lot of stupid mistakes. That's my advantage. It's up to you if you're smart enough to see that. Good, says Wyrus. Yes, position yourself as the smart choice for bettors. People who pride themselves on being smart will respond to that. And when it's Maisley's turn, she and Drusilla stare daggers at each other, but they refrain from exchanging blows. So, Miss Donner, what do you think of the capital? I think I can't believe that people with so much money have such bad taste. Here you are with mountains of cash, and this is where you wound up? She gives Drusilla's outfit, the red and white striped jumpsuit with a matching beanie, a once-over. You look like you jumped right off of the candy counter back home. You're just a peppermint stick nightmare. Drusilla's hand goes to her collar. You're not going to make any friends with this approach, you little shrew. Who said I wanted friends? I'm here to make people remember me. Remember? It's not just you. It's everyone that I saw from the chariot. The garish colors, the unflattering lines. There's some fashion choices that you people are really going to regret. Why you want to resemble a barnyard animal is beyond me, but I hope that those goat horns are removable. And the woman with the diamonds implanted along her teeth, people age, there's no shame in that, but I think that those stones are going to make eating a trial when those gums recede. So we should be what, emulating District 12? Sputters Drusilla. Heavens no. People have hardly 2 cents to rub together back there. They can't be expected to dress well. Although there's not a minor in 12 who doesn't have a better physique than the people that I witness in this crowd. All the surgery in the world can't change that, huh? What? And all the money in the world won't buy you good taste. Clearly. Some people in 12 have a lot more than what I'm witnessing here. Are you done? Drusilla says. Honestly, I've barely warmed up. Sit down. And then it's Wyrus who concludes, this is a risky strategy, but yes, they will remember you. And Mags comes back, holding a handkerchief dotted in blood. She's drifted off. I don't know what they've got in her ear, but it is starting to bleed. Drusilla waves her off. Again, it's not my department. You're up, Abernathy. So 12 has a lunatic, a computer, and a shrew. What are you? Oh my god, I love Maisley. I think she's fantastic. She's like everything. Like, she's like a slightly mean version of Elle Woods. But, like, they need that, right? You know? Bad news, apparently, I say. How else did I get a 1 in the training? And then Mags coaches me. Yes, that's a good. Yes. Highlight it immediately. Own it. Well, how did you do it? Asked Drusilla. I earned it. The game makers don't like me. Probably started when I messed with the Peacekeeper during the reaping. You can't say that, Drusilla protests. You'll spoil the brilliant work that I did covering it up. What riot? Sorry. You'll spoil the brilliant work I did covering up the riot. What riot? Woodbine ran and your people shot him. I know a riot when I see it, but never mind, that's forbidden. It won't win you any points with the audience anyway. They'll respond to a bad boy, but not a rebel. You need to be naughty, not dangerous. For instance, last winter, one of the university students died at the fountain's pink when there was a face cream shortage. That was so saucy. Everyone loved it. I sense that she's actually trying to help me, but, yeah, okay. Look, I'm going into the Hunger Games, but I don't think face cream statement is gonna cut it. How about I can talk about spitting on the crowd? Absolutely not. What will people do with that? Well, if I can't talk about the reaping, and I can't talk about the spitting, what am I supposed to talk about? Drusilla thinks a moment. You must be mysterious. Allude to radical behavior without being specific. The one who witnessed the opening ceremonies have already been gossiping about you, so let the audience use their imaginations. Naughty, not dangerous. I repeat. That's it. Be a rascal. Be charming. A naughty rascal. A rascal. That's what Mama used to call the squirrels who would sneak up to the porch and steal the nuts that she was shelling, right from under her nose. Bold as a stump, and funny too. Alright, well, I can try. I don't get a chance though, because right then, Proserpina and Vitus burst through the apartment and in a state of agitation. It's Magno. We went to his apartment to see the interview costume so we can plan tonight's makeup and hair, begins Proserpina. We're allowed to do that. It's required to, actually. It's on our syllabus. It's not like we were just brown-nosing or anything like that, interjects Vitus. Anyway, the door to his apartment was wide open and he's reeling around. He's sick. He's puking all over the place and he's talking like a crazy person, and we think that the toad venom rumors might actually be true. Proserpina clasps her hand over her mouth as if she's let some monstrous cat out of the bag. Rumors? Runs Drusilla. That man's been licking toads since the war. I can't believe that anyone even risked that during the games. Oh, what am I saying? Of course I can, for no reason other than to end my career. Why would he lick toads? Asks Wyatt. Because he's a reptilian freak and he'll do anything to take me down. They say some kinds make you, like, hallucinate or something if they don't kill you, explains Vitus. Some people do it just for fun. Ugh, it's nasty. I'm going to issue a formal complaint with the game makers. Drusilla grabs her handbag and storms out, effectively ending my interview practice. Do you two perhaps have any black clothing that they could wear? Wyrus asks our prep team. Us? Vitus asks in disbelief. We don't wear black. It's too depressing. Proserpina bursts into tears, her magenta hair puffs bobbling wildly. I need to call my sister. She throws herself into a chair next to the table, holding a burnt orange telephone, and presses some buttons and begins to wail into the receiver. I'm gonna fail. I'm gonna fail. Mags corrals the rest of us, including Vitus, into the kitchen to eat bowls of strawberry ice cream, and after a few minutes, Proserpina joins us. My sister says that it isn't our fault, and to just do the best that we can. She slurps a big spoonful of ice cream, and a last trickle of tears is sliding down her flushed cheeks. She says if they try to fail us that we can appeal to the university board. My sister knows everybody on the university board on account of how she used to be on the student social planner, and she gets everything approved. Her sister's amazing, says Vitus. She is, says Proserpina. She was the president of the Capital Cohorts chapters, and she's basically created the Spring Saturnalia her freshman year. It's the best party of the year, Vitus tells us, and it's so much better than that tired old fling. So much better, echoes Proserpina. Anyway, I think that she says we're going to be all right. Like, she has a positive attitude about 97% of the battle. Sorry, she said having a positive attitude is 97% of the battle. It's so astonishingly self-absorbed in the face of our impending deaths, I don't even know how to respond to it. Maisie Lee, on the other hand, doesn't miss a beat. I'll try to keep that in mind in the arena. More ice cream? Mags catches my eye, her smile barely suppressed. Proserpina just holds out her bowl, oblivious. Yeah, I really think that it's gonna help you. Maisie Lee, Lulu, and Wyatt's prep teams arrive, and we take turns in the bathroom and bedrooms being groomed. I try to negotiate a few extra minutes floating in the tub so that I can work out how I might come across as a rascal, but I just think about stealing nuts. I have a bad feeling that I'm going to come off as annoying. Since they're not trying to counteract the insecticides from the gym shower, the prep team gets better results with less effort, but they can't compensate for our clothes. We were given a few changes of socks and underwear, but aside from that, we've been wearing our training outfits for 3 days straight. Lulu's is as wrinkled as a raisin from her napping in it. Wyatt spilled mashed potatoes on his, and his scraping it off made it look worse, and I have a tear at my shoulder from when Panache attacked me. Even Maisie Lee, who looks the least crumpled, has a spattering of her homemade glue from working with the tokens. On top of that, the cheap fabric really holds the smell of fear, sweat, a fierce sweat. Oh, okay, sorry, that was bad. On top of that, the cheap fabric really holds the smell of fierce sweat that we've been pumping out, and that's demoralizing even if the cameras won't pick it up. I try to keep a positive attitude since that's 97% of the battle, reminding myself that at least we have black clothing that fits us and we have our tokens. But the truth can't be denied. We look like what we are. Neglected, no account, not worth a professional stylist long shots from District 12, and who is going to sponsor that? On top of this, we have 8 prep team members, half of them in tears, totally preoccupied with how this is going to affect their grades and consequently their future job prospects. Drusilla returns pissed because she was unable to file a complaint after the games, and as an afterthought, she went to see if she could rouse Magno, but he didn't answer his door and she thinks he might be dead, which is the only thing that kept her from going in. Except maybe the quarter bottle of rum that she's knocking back in the kitchen. Wyrus and Mags try to focus our minds on our interviews, but the general commotion makes that impossible. The noise drowns out the ping of the arriving elevator, so she seems to appear out of thin air. It's a young woman with lavender hair. She's dressed like a great gumball in green checked stockings, 4 black hats stacked on top of her head, clothes, bags draped over her arm. She wheels a sort of spiky shoe cart into the center of the living room, and she announces, "All right, who is ready for a big, big, big day?" I think we all know who that is. Who's Proserpina's sister, everybody? I think we know. Big, big, big. I don't think I will ever not check her breathing. Like, I know her airway's not blocked, so like, why would she stop breathing? But I check it every like 10 minutes anyway. Anyway, someone is passed out. It was 11 and 12, actually, Amanda. We did 2 today. So for anyone keeping track for their Goodreads, we will be, we're at 43%, page 180. Chapter 13 is tomorrow, obviously. Before I go, do you guys, it's okay, I'll upload it right away. The Inevitable Rebellion group is forming, I know, right? What I was gonna say is, what was I gonna say? I was gonna say, you guys wanna hear something funny? So yesterday, obviously, I had class. It's 2 days in a row. It's Monday and Tuesday is my class, and it's for like 3 hours in the afternoon. For the first part of it, she was teething, and that was sad. And then I gave her some Tylenol, and she was okay. But she hates watching me do raps with Jamantha. You know, Jamantha, the doll that I have. So usually I use her when I'm doing stuff in class because she likes being in rap, so it's like whatever, it's not a big deal. I've used the doll a couple times when she's on walks with my husband or whatever like that, but if she was with me, generally I use her. But 2 things. Yesterday, she was really hurting in her teeth and I didn't want to have to put her in and out of the carrier multiple times and annoy her. And second of all, we were doing back carries in a soft structured carrier, which she's not old enough for yet because you have to be able to sit independently to be in a soft structured carrier on your back. You can put babies on your back in woven wraps or med-eyes before that, but not in a soft structured carrier because it doesn't hold them against you enough to hold up their little system. Hey Renee, we're actually talking about wrapping class. She saw me put Jamantha in that carrier. She was big mad. She was like, who is this doll sitting in my carrier? Not a fan of Jamantha. No, she's not a fan. She did not want me wrapping anyone but her. It was pretty funny. Renee, did you saw the picture that I sent you of my brother? I love seeing the younger versions of the, I love it. It's one of my favorite things, Naisa. It's something that I love from when we read Land of Stories and other things, like getting to see all of the, excuse me, brother, that's my spot, exactly. I was gonna tell you, Ray, I need to send you the picture also. Between Ray and Renee, your legacy of wrapping children, goes on because my new niece is already in a ring sling with her dad. So, you know, it's a good legacy. It's a good legacy. He was like, I taught him how to put her in the ring sling. He got her all secured and he went to do laundry. And he was like, she just sleeps on me while I do laundry. I was like, yeah, it's great. Yeah, it's so cute. Well, Liz, he posted it. I thought you followed him. Sorry, Liz, I'll send it to you. He posted it on his story. Both of them did. It's a public photo. That's why I can share it because they've both posted it on their public stories. Both my brother and his wife both did. So I don't have any qualms sharing it because it's public. But it is, it's sweet. They posted it just like with a heart over the baby's face, basically, which is what I do also. So anyway, that was really fun. So, a whole bunch, okay, I'll send it to you, Liz. It's real cute. A whole bunch of, basically, just so everyone knows, up through each day, all of the grab bags have been shipped. So if your charge date was through yesterday, it went to the post office yesterday, and I'll do more today and more tomorrow and so on. So we're good. The only thing, I have to make something for Amanda, I have to make something for Des, and I think 1 or 2 other people this week. But other than that, we are caught up, which is good. I need to reorganize the slime room. My aunt is coming to hold her today, so hopefully I'll get a little reorganizing done. Because once I get the reorg done, we can make the eggs, we can make the Taylor slimes. The charms for the Taylor slimes haven't come in yet. I got my grab bag and I already almost killed it. Did you love it? I'm gonna make more. I have supplies to make more of that. It's pretty good, right? I thought that one was pretty nice. Since everyone loved Belle so much, I was like, well, I'll make another butter slushy, but make it different. No, I'll do it. I mean, if I have to make the slime anyway, I might as well make the video for her so she can enjoy it. Anyway, I thought you would like that, Jen. I was like, well, since I knew you liked Belle, I'll just, keep it going for you. And also, need a good hurt real bad. Yeah, I don't think I have a good hurt made for a grab bag. Maybe you should do that. It's not a bad idea. I do have the supplies. Although we are going to make some really good Taylor ones. The level of excitement I have for the restock as well. Yeah, it's going to be good. The other thing I was going to tell you all is I am making something for grab bags that is kind of for Liz. It is perfection, right? Such a great picture. I made like what we thought was a gel clear. It turns out it's not. Kat tells me it's not, but it's still a good slime. And I sent it to Liz to test, and she liked it so much she almost killed it. So I'm going to make more, and I'm going to let some people, not some people, anyone who wants from the grab bag level try it as their grab bag. I just realized I left my roll for slime in the fridge after the video. That's funny. So I need to order the supplies for that, but I will have that for anyone who wants to test that. This little lady has some oddly long hairs. Like, some of her bangs are so much longer than the rest of her hair. It's so weird. You fully did it? Okay, well, we're gonna make more. So that is the whole kit and caboodle for here. I have class today, so I won't have a live later, but like I said, hopefully tomorrow we'll have a slime live, just like a regular making slime for grab bags kind of live. Yeah. I made an absolutely amazing grapefruit butter that is one of the grab bags that went out to a lot of people yesterday. It's chef's kiss good. Like, I kept some for me. I was like, it's like a, let me show you the color. Hold on. It's like this color almost, like this pinky peachy orange right here, and it smells like grapefruit. Real good. Really like that. Some good stuff. So we're moving along. I think maybe I'll clean the bathroom today while my aunt's here also, because I try not to do like any cleaning with chemicals while I'm holding the baby, but if my aunt's holding the baby, I can clean the bathroom. What do you think of that? That's some good planning, right? Someone else holds the baby, I clean the bathroom. All right, you don't need to hear about like what I'm gonna do for the day, but that is my schedule for the day in case anyone was wondering. All right, I will see you all tomorrow, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye, guys.